Hello YouTube, it's SlickShotGames, and it's me, Mr. Smiles, and this is Mr10Knight over here. Hello.
Mr10Knight.
And we're going to be talking about Universal versus Disney, Part 2. We're going to be stressing more on Disney since they've made new stuff. They've created new things. So, yeah, tell us more about this, Mr10Knight. He has prior experience.
About which part?
In Disney. He knows everything about it. And Universal. He's a pro in hospitality management. He knows what he's talking about. So let's start with the new renovation at downtown Disney. What are they doing there?
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs.
Yeah, so basically what they're doing is they're taking what used to be downtown Disney and they're going to convert it into an entirely new area called Disney Springs. Originally, I thought it was only going to be one land, but apparently I've recently received information that it's actually the entire downtown Disney complex is going to become Disney Springs. So they're redeveloping. It's a major project that they're taking.
Are they still keeping the Lego land and the
the
restaurants?
The tenants are not going to change. Well, at least the ones that are already there are probably going to remain the same, especially the most successful ones like Rainforest Cafe and, and the Lego Imagination Center, and of course, Disney. Cirque du Soleil, House of Blues. Those will very likely stay there because those are extremely successful tenants, and one of the main reasons that people go to downtown Disney. But as far as like the theming, and the outside areas, and the flow and the pathways, they're gonna make some major changes to that entire area. I guess Disney feels that it's kind of lacking, which is kind of true to an extent, especially compared to their theme parks. So they're definitely stepping it up a notch.
So they have, they also the new installment of Fantasyland.
The new Fantasyland. Very recently opened in Magic Kingdom. There's only one remaining phase which has not opened, which is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster. That's the only part that has not opened yet, but the rest of it has all officially opened. So I had a chance to see it this past week for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. I think they did a great job. They were actually really smart about it because the land is really cool, but it still has that classic Fantasyland feel. So they didn't. I thought they were going to go over the top, but they really didn't. It's more of an expansion, and of course they added the new rides, the new attractions like the Little Mermaid. But they still kept that classic. Classic feel.
Yeah, from the photos you showed me. With the clam-mobiles, the clams, was that Little Mermaid?
Yeah, that's the new Little Mermaid ride, which is
But that's a disappointment.
It is very simple. I do have to say the ride
use the same clams.
The ride vehicles are very similar.
Similar.
Very similar to Seas with Nemo and Friends at Epcot. However, Disney claims that it's still different.
Is it the same?
I think it's just very minor differences, but the ride as a whole is 10 times better than Seas with Nemo and Friends. I can tell you that. The effects are better. Of course, it's brand new, so you can't really go. They built it from scratch, so everything's new, everything's state of the art, the latest equipment, the latest special effects. Don't expect any thrills. It's a classic. It's basically your classic, kid-friendly Fantasyland ride. So it's a slow-paced ride. It's all about the theming. It's all about the scenery. So do not expect any thrills. If you want thrills, then you have to wait until the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster opens.
Is that going to be?
That's going to be an actual roller coaster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. But the Little Mermaid thing, I think it's cool because that's actually one character that Magic Kingdom had kind of neglected for a long time because they had all these rides dedicated to different characters, but Little Mermaid never actually had a ride. So this is the first time that Little Mermaid has a ride, which is kind of cool. So instead of having a meet and greets with a character, they actually have an entire ride, which is kind of cool. Also, another big highlight, believe it or not, at Fantasyland is the new restaurant that they opened. Be Our Guest.
Be Our Guest.
Yeah. So that's basically.
Is that like that one Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, it's themed after Beauty and the Beast, and basically they made an entire restaurant themed after the Grand Ballroom of Beauty and the Beast. So it's like this beautiful, like massive restaurant with like a grand ballroom with chandeliers. It has like a artificial facade, and it's supposed to make you feel like you're dining next to like an enchanted forest. That's kind of cool. I personally, honestly, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see it inside because they're extremely strict with having reservations. It's obviously being a new restaurant, it's extremely popular. They do have something else which I noticed. Disney definitely is trying to compete with Harry Potter with the new Fantasyland, because they, how the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, they have what is it called, butterbeer.
Oh yeah, butterbeer.
So Disney's comeback to that is called LeFou's Brew.
Oh my god.
Yes, so that's their comeback. LeFou's Brew is basically, it's supposed to be like a beer that they serve at LeFou's Tavern.
Wow, that's somebody's caught.
Yeah, so LeFou he's actually a character. I honestly don't remember which movie it's from. I'm gonna assume it's
movie.
I'm sorry, Gaston. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna assume it's either Little Mermaid or one of those. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Yeah. But anyways, so now they have this brew. It's actually really good. Basically, it kind of like the whole butterbeer thing. It's like a special drink that you can only get there.
Wow. So did you get a chance to try it?
I did. It was actually very good. I personally thought it was, some people like it, some people don't. I liked it. I thought they're both equally as good.
So having tasted both butterbeer and that,
I think they're both equally as good. Some people complained about the topping because very similar to the butterbeer, they put like an artificial topping on top, and it's supposed to be like a cream. As if you were drinking beer. It's supposed to be.
So is it sweet? What is it? Sweet?
It's sweet. It's very, very sweet. It's like a mixture of passion fruit, mango, and pineapple. But it looks like beer, but it's super sweet. I personally thought it was good. Some of the people that were with me in my party thought that it was. Some of them thought it was too sweet, especially for a hot day. But some of them thought it was good. Some of them thought butterbeer was better. Some of them thought that one was better. So it really
butterbeer sweet.
It really depends. Also? Butterbeer is very sweet. So it really depends on your taste. They're both very sweet drinks, and they're both this is theme parks crossing over into an all sensory experience. So not just rides and scenery, but now things that you actually eat and consume.
Yeah, there's no doubt that I think they copied. There's no doubt that they had to have copied each other because they.
Well, I mean, they had to come back. Whether or not it was.
Does it come in a mug too?
To give you an option, it does come in the mug, a souvenir mug. But if you don't want the mug,
is it a souvenir mug at Wizarding World?
Same thing, same concept.
Oh my, yeah, that's copying. You can't. Well, it's not copying, but it's hinting toward.
I don't know if it was on purpose, but I'm pretty sure that.
Definitely competing.
I'm pretty sure that it's obviously, they had to compete somehow with the whole butterbeer thing.
Yeah, there's no way.
But I mean, I
don't know if that's the main reason, but it's not like they copy completely.
By the way, since the last video that we made, there's been some significant changes at Disney. This year they actually announced even more things, and I feel like they're stepping into overdrive with developments. They're definitely, because Universal is coming out with all these new things, and so Disney,
Despicable Me.
So Disney stepped in and they're like, you know what? Just to let you know, we're still the big players here. So now they're like, you know what? You're building 3 new lands. We're going to build 4 new lands.
They're building 4 new lands.
Well, I'm just exaggerating, but they're basically everything Universal's doing. They're doing twice as much. So now they're both competing extremely heavily, and they have all these huge developments. So now Disney just recently announced that they're going to build a Cars land at Hollywood Studios.
Oh my god!
It's the first time in a long time.
That was inevitable, actually, because that movie was. It was a release of the movie, and it's very popular. It was perfect for making.
Yes, they're going to build a Cars land, which is the first time they expand Hollywood Studios since the park opened, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that I think so. Yeah,
they're still on track to build that Avatar land in Animal Kingdom. They haven't pulled out of it, so they're still on track to build that.
Wow. I feel like that's going to be a disaster. I just can't help to think.
And there's also rumors.
But that's just...
I actually had a chance to talk to someone who works in the industry at this moment, who has some insider information.
Info. Here it
Exclusive information. And the word on the street is that Disney has all these things that they're developing. They haven't officially announced yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to happen. And one of them is they're planning on expanding, well, not expanding, but adding another nighttime show to Magic Kingdom in addition to fireworks. Which that's pretty major developments. Now, it wouldn't surprise me because they just recently opened the World of Color at Disneyland California, which is a water-based show, kind of like the Las Vegas style.
Yeah.
And apparently that was extremely successful there.
Yeah, I can
so
imagine.
you know what happens every time something's super successful in California,
it moves
they
on
always
to
end
the
up
other
bringing
ones.
it over
Expands,
here.
Yeah.
Example of that is Soarin'. But anyways,
Soarin',
which originally was in California.
Yeah.
So
expansion.
So that's one thing. Apparently, there's rumors that they're thinking or developing a nighttime show at Animal Kingdom, which would be the first time in the history of that park that they have any kind of nighttime entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
So they have all these big things that they're working on. It wouldn't surprise me if they're strategically coordinating that with the whole Avatar Land thing. Who knows? That could be
like a glow in the dark style, maybe.
Yeah, because if you think about it, Disney makes so much
know.
money from the theme parks, not just during the daytime, but at nighttime. So all these parks that stay open after 6 o'clock, they stay open super late, and they make money all the way through the night, except Animal Kingdom. So Disney, they're always looking for ways to be more successful.
Yep.
So
I mean, I don't know.
And speaking of, so last time I went to Disney, like I said, this past week, and I hadn't been to Disney in a year, and I went last week, and only within a year I've seen some major changes. Like
major.
Yes, they're going crazy with developments. Like
there's construction everywhere, kind of thing.
Well, not only that, but they entirely changed their entire concept of. They used to have what was called a key to the world, which is a card, which was your hotel room key, your charge card, and your park tickets all in one, and it had your name printed on it. Well, Disney being Disney, they're like, well, that's not good enough for us, so they got rid of that. And now they actually have bands called Magic Bands.
So they have both the key to the world and the band.
Well, they just recently converted everything to RFID technology.
The band.
Yes. So now, Disney has really stepped it up. Well, they've always been ahead in technology, and they never stop. So now they have everything is RFID shipped, so they don't use paper tickets anymore. And they got rid of one of the most drastic changes that I saw is that they got rid of turnstiles.
The dreadful turnstiles.
So the turnstiles that have been famous for years and years and years, that people that are synonymous with theme parks, all of a sudden they're like, you know what? We're not going to use this anymore. So they took them out, which that's huge. So now people arrive to the park and they don't know what to do because they're like, I'm used to turnstiles. What do I do?
Confused. They leave.
Well, what they did was Disney is very smart. So they added this whole new technology. Well, Disney calls it next generation.
Next gen technology.
So yeah, exactly. So they added these ball-looking things with a Mickey logo on it, attached to a metal pole. And so instead of a turnstile, there's a pole there. And there's a cast member standing at every entrance to make sure no one, walks by it, since there's no turnstiles.
Yeah.
So basically, the people that have bands, they take their magic band or whatever it's called, and they place it against the Mickey, and the Mickey lights up green, and that means they can enter, and they enter the park. No turnstiles, nothing. Wow. There's a cast member standing there just in case they need help, or if it doesn't work, or if it turns red.
So there's you do just cross through. It's
so that way
no more handing tickets to the
so quickly.
people.
So like a family of 5 people can get through that gate in like 2 seconds because they all tap their thing, green, and they're all in. Mm-hmm. So no more tickets, no more turnstiles. Disney's all about efficiency because they want people to spend money.
So is there some kind of a noise or some kind of a
nothing
indication that comes up? What if you don't? If you fail?
Well, I think it turns red or something, which means access denied. And there's a customer standing there, which by the way, they changed their outfits and they also gave them iPads.
Oh my
Yes.
god, they have iPads now?
Correct. Not all of them, but
A lot of
the
them
supervisors do. So what they do is they have regular ticketing cast members standing at the actual interactive Mickey ball.
Huh.
And then if something goes wrong, or if they have a paper ticket from like way back when, then obviously the machine doesn't accept tickets anymore like that. So they have to call over a supervisor. So basically someone walks over in a white shirt, and they have an iPad, and they just plug in numbers into the iPad, and boom, you're in.
Wow.
So yeah, they have pretty advanced technology now. And that same Magic Band they can use to pay at the restaurants, they can use to pay at the carts, they just tap it and boom.
And I heard the new giving fast passes to everything, including the carousel of progress.
Yep. Well, so that goes along with the whole next gen thing, which Disney just very, very aggressively is rolling out.
Yeah.
So now apparently, that's another major change that I noticed. For a while, Disney was actually phasing out Fast Pass in certain attractions that no longer needed it. Like, for example, Haunted Mansion, way back when, used to have Fast Pass, but it was completely unnecessary, so they got rid of it. Now, with this whole new next-gen thing, now they added Fast Pass for everything.
Including It's a Small World, Carousel of Progress.
Well, they haven't gotten there yet, but I wouldn't be surprised that they'll get there next.
But that would be a waste of time.
Correct, but even shows like like the Lights Motor Action at Hollywood Studios. Since when do you need a fast pass for that?
Yeah,
you just walk in.
You don't even. Yeah.
Well, now they added a fast pass for that.
So how do you? Since you don't
everything
have
has a fast pass.
So you don't have tickets anymore.
Correct.
No tickets.
Well,
so
no.
How do you get
no. You still do. So now at the fast pass kiosk, if you have an actual ticket, you still stick it in the machine like normal. If you don't, then they have a little interactive thing where you place your Magic Band and the ticket comes out.
Huh.
So the only thing is, if the person has a Magic Band, that means they're staying at a Disney resort. If they're staying at a Disney resort, that means they booked a Disney vacation. If they booked a Disney vacation, that means they were given the opportunity to reserve Fast Pass times before they arrived in Orlando. So most people, already have, they basically planned their whole theme park vacation in advance, which I think is a little bit extreme.
Yeah, it's a little
but that's what Disney's going for. So people now have the ability to basically plan out in order what they're going to do an entire day in a theme park in advance before they even arrive to the theme park.
Wow.
And then they have select times that the fast passes are valid. And all these different things. So it's pretty,
They've really made it organized. Well,
yeah. But the thing is, now because of that, they have to be extremely strict with the time. Before, sometimes, if you came after the end time of your fast pass, they still let you in. Now, if you come after, too bad.
Even like a minute after, a few seconds after.
In general, they won't let you anymore because now, since they have all these people booking fast pass times, now they have to be really fair because, or else they'll have like a million people going into the fast pass line before the park closes, and then that's not fair for the people in the standby line.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, and another thing that Disney is doing, which I actually had a chance. I normally wouldn't participate in this, but the people I was with wanted to do it, so I did it. Now they're turning everything interactive is the new favorite word at Disney. They want everything to be interactive. They want things to be engaging. They don't want people to get bored. So now something as simple as walking through a land is now an entire experience. For example,
let's hear this.
Okay, for example, Adventureland, where Pirates of the Caribbean is. Okay, so now you can spend like an hour in that land doing stuff, not even going on rides, just going around and interacting with things, because now they have these trivia games similar to the Kim Possible adventure at Epcot, where they give you a phone, and I don't know if you've ever done that before.
No, I haven't.
But basically, okay, so for example, at Pirates of the Caribbean, they have something called Jack Sparrow's Adventure, or something like that. So basically, you go up to this kiosk, and this is outside in the park, in the lands. They have like a little kiosk. You walk up, they give you a map, and it's like a scavenger hunt. And you have to go around the land, and everything is interactive. So they give you a little token. And so, for example, the map says, go to this place to begin your adventure. And, so you go there, like it's a treasure chest. And then you put the token on the treasure chest, and then something happens. It's like, for example, you know where the jungle cruises are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So right there's a treasure chest. So you walk up there, you put the token, and then like a skull comes out of the water.
Wow.
Yes, and then the thing, and it talks to you.
Is it bad? Like, is it?
It's very well done.
It's well done.
Very well done.
And it's like on a stand. It comes up.
It comes under, like it comes out of the water, and it talks to you like, oh, welcome to the adventure.
Or what?
I mean, some people might think it's a little cheesy, but it's actually very well done. It's a very good. I mean, it's pretty.
And what do you get if you
opinion.
win this scavenger?
Nothing. You just the enjoyment of
just
having interactive. Most people do it just because they want to see what happens. They want to interact with stuff.
And at the end, did he get to the end? Did he successfully get everything?
I did. Yeah, there's multiple scavenger hunts.
Is there like a grand finale at the end?
Not really. I mean, it's just everything that you interact with is unique. So, for example, like you'll walk up to a treasure chest, and then there's a bell on one of the buildings above the lands, and then it'll do something, and then the bell rings, and like everyone can hear it throughout the entire land.
Oh wow!
So stuff like that. Like, isn't that cool?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they're trying to do that in every land, apparently.
So it was only in Adventureland. It was only
at Magic Kingdom. I only saw it in Adventureland, but I also saw something similar at Main Street. I didn't do the Main Street one, but I saw they were recruiting and they had signs. So if you walk into one of these parks and you see what used to be a store is now like some kind of a center with people in line for stuff. That's probably what it is. An interactive experience.
And what if so is it like once you're in, is it like a mandatory type thing, or
it's not? I mean, you can just go back.
Believe.
I mean, they're still working out the flaws. Like, for example, when we finished the Pirates Adventure thing, it didn't tell us where to take the map, so we didn't know what to do with the map. So we just gave it to a random cast member at the entrance of Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm pretty sure they're still working out the logistics.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've lost a lot of maps because people take them home. I mean, and they're like good quality materials too.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, another big thing that Disney is doing, which is long overdue, is upgrading all their queues. Like, where you wait for a ride.
Yeah.
For example,
waiting line.
They just finished updating the queue for Big Thunder Mountain. So, unfortunately, when I was waiting in line, half of the props were broken. Or they just weren't working. They had them off.
But there was new props.
Yeah, but there was tons of new props, and they're all interactive. It's kind of like
to keep you busy.
Correct. Kind of
if anything, they got to keep you.
Kind of like the whole Haunted Mansion thing with like the graveyard.
Yeah.
Same thing, but now they're doing that for every ride, and it's themed to that ride, which is kind of cool. Speaking of Haunted Mansion, that's another thing that they're doing at the Fast Pass. Now, if you have a Fast Pass, you can bypass that interactive queue. If you don't have a Fast Pass and you're in the main standby line, you're forced to go through the interactive queue. So some people like that because they want to experience everything, but then again, it depends. So
Yeah. All right, so what's next?
Well, and then just one more thing is also, there's actually not too much development going on in this area right now, but it's worth mentioning, the resorts division. So right now, they actually just recently, I think it was within the last few years, they opened the newest Disney resort, which is the Art of Animation Resorts. So
this has already come out.
It's already open. It's finally open.
Oh wow!
So it's basically another Disney Valley resort. It's very, very similar to the other Valley resorts. It has like outdoor hallways, and the rates are lower than the other Disney resorts. So it kind of caters to economically conscious travelers.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
where is it located?
It's located near, I believe it's near Pop Century Resort, which is also a Valley resort. So it's kind of that whole cluster of all the Valley resorts. And it's basically themed after Disney's animated movies. So there's like huge scale.
That's cool.
There's like huge scale statues of like Finding Nemo and like different.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It sounds pretty cool. That's pretty much the biggest thing right now. Other than that, they are actually working on some Disney Vacation Club resorts expansions. You know how right now, like, the Beach Club has the Beach Club villas and the Boardwalk has the Boardwalk villas.
Yes.
Well, they just finished. Well, a few years ago, they did Bay Lake Tower, which is next to the Contemporary Resort, and now they're about to finish the same thing for the Grand Floridian, or they're about to finish the Grand Floridian villas. So, that's another thing that they're working on. So they're adding more and more and more places for people to stay. So Disney keeps expanding very rapidly.
That forest area they had, they're starting to expand the
to an extent, yeah.
To the whole entire park.
To basically. An extent. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for watching. This has been SlickShotGames. Thank you, Mr10Knight, for being here in this commentary. I hope you guys watched it all. So thanks for watching. Thank you, Mr10Knight.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.